values are strictly driven off auction values. What they're bringing in the real values, real wholesale values. We're not talking about private party retail or even just dealer retail. For instance, KBB customers will come in, and not so much KBB customers, but someone could come in with a book out right from KBB and say, well, Kelly says extra clean, my car's 20.5, right? Well, what you should do, because y'all are an ICO store as well, walk them through ICO, say, okay, KBB for a loan value does back that value, but they don't back it by a check. What they back by a check is actually what they call ICO. And I would walk them down, here's what Kelly would actually write you for your check, and leverage that trusted source. Say, this is what Kelly will give you your car today. And leverage that trusted source. So dealing with those people coming in with those book outs saying, Kelly says this, Kelly says that. Well, Kelly says that, that's for a bank. They're not backing that, right? Y'all follow me? So our program does a lot of the same thing. We use a wholesale value to get a true value on the car in which we will back. Good thing is y'all can use that same trusted source, a Truecar source, on the trade. We have a tool that you can scan a VIN, walk around, deduct values based on things like keys and colors and everything. I'll get into that later. What I want to show you real quick is what it takes to go through our process. So let me grab a random VIN real quick. And we're going to kind of go through this process. So this is what they would go through. It looks like this. They could get started with a VIN or a license plate. Since we have a VIN, we'll start that way. We also have a estimate flow too if they don't have a VIN or a license plate handy. So 2009 Lexus RX is what this one ends up being. And this is kind of the first page of the process. So we ask them, anyone use TurboTax? Anyone ever use TurboTax for anything? So as we go through and make changes to this, we will actually appreciate it and deduct value from the car in real time. So it kind of sets them up to get hit at the end for the true cash offer. Right here we have color. If we were to put this Lexus RX as green, and not to pick anyone that has a green car, but it actually, not a huge deduct, but it takes out $75. All we're saying is, out there on a used car lot, green doesn't move quite as fast as let's say a black or a white one. We put black in here, appreciates it $175. Again, not a huge value, but we're educating the consumer right now. And again, a consumer, a USA member, or someone going on Truecar.com can do this from their phone. As we continue, we'll ask some options. We know this one is a front-wheel drive, so we already have without all-wheel drive selected. But let's say they have navigation, and let's say they have the limits and audio system. As we continue to go through, it's an 09. Let's say it's 55. Let's say it's a good mileage, 55,000 miles. It's actually going to appreciate 1850 being good miles. So it takes everything into account. We use a random zip code, so we don't create a lead. So if they're the original owner, give them some money for that too. If they're still making payments on their vehicle, they can let us know loan or lease. This really kind of, for the ones handling the leads, this kind of lets them set up their conversation. If this person here puts they owe 15 grand on this car, you know what conversation you're about to have. You probably need to put them on something, maybe an 18 model with some money on the hood, or a used car that can carry it. So, if they're interested in buying a replacement vehicle, have that as well. Because again, these consumers could come in and just want to sell, they could want to trade. We're seeing about a half and half. In fact, I looked the other day, 49% of consumers say they want to trade in, 51% of our consumers are saying they just want to sell their vehicle. Of that 51%, the ones that are actually transacting, we're noticing about half of those ones are actually wanting to buy something else. It's no different than a consumer walking the showroom floor today and saying, hey, I'm looking for something, but I don't want to do anything until you tell me what my trade's worth. Happens, right? So, just kind of that kind of flow. So, as we go to the next page, we ask them if the vehicle was ever an accident. They can let us know, put an insurance payout amount. If there's any exterior or interior damage. If you notice, if I do select yes and I do select a value, it doesn't change the range. Reason why? We don't want to discourage the consumer from coming in. We don't want to hit them too hard for this. And two, we don't know if it hit the Carfax. We don't know how bad the damage, how good the repair was. There's all kinds of moving parts here. So what we're actually going to do on the next page, instead of narrowing it down to a true cash offer, we're still going to supply a range after they register and prompt them to come in and finish up the inspection install. Vehicles, tires, these are value impacting. I also put pour, so we have front and rear here, so I put pour on the front. It takes off $300. So basically what we're saying is about $150 a tire for this car right here. It's VIN specific. If we were dealing with Audi RS7, directional run flats, right? we actually know that those tires should be about $400 a tire. So it's actually going to account for that and make a difference, because we do use all 17 digits of the VIN to know what the approximate cost of repairs on certain things are. Sound good? Again, I'll just reiterate one more time. This is the journey from, this is not like the showroom journey or out on the lot. This is a consumer sitting at their home getting it. Just in case you get one of these leads, I would just want you to know what they went through. If the vehicle has any mechanical issues, they can let us know. All these have deductions and everything built into them. Same thing with illuminated warning lights, and it's all VIN specific. The fix for a engine light on a Lexus might not be the same as a Hyundai. So, does your vehicle have any modifications? Has stuff like that as well. They can also upload photos in that part. If it has any odors like smoke or pet, they can let us know that as well. It takes up $150 on this one. It'll get more drastic if the car's newer, lower mileage, and maybe more expensive. We'll take off more money for those kind of cars that have odors in them. And then these are just major issues down here. If you select one of those, it will disqualify from an actual true cash offer. Give them a range, prompt them to come in. So I'm going to put my information in. Select yes. So terms and conditions. The important part about terms and conditions, there's really two important parts. One, these offers are good for 72 hours. Our values are low enough where you will probably honor this value 60, 90 days out. Jeff will probably let you know. If it's last day of the month, and it's 3 months from when they got this, that value is probably still very relevant. We put 72 hours just for follow-up purposes. So your BDC department or whoever's handling the leads can say on the beginning of the third day, say, hey, you have 12 hours left on your true cash offer. Would you like to set an appointment today? Come on in, just to create urgency in the situation and try to get them in. And two, it's always subject to physical inspection. You know, obviously we have to see the car before we buy it. Not buying cars blind here. So, just those are mainly to protect the dealership and everything. So, also if it's a car you don't want in this past 3 days, you can kind of say, hey, it expired. So here's what the certificate looks like. It has a little picture of a car that's very similar. It's got a VIN scan here. That scan you can scan within the AccuTrade app that I'll have you all download and basically bring up the information that the customer supplies us with. So if they're here on the lot, you can actually do a side-by-side walk around with them and devalue the car. And true cash offer, we put it expires 1/18, so 72 hours from now, and then subject to dealer verification. So that's kind of you're out there like, hey, obviously we have to see the car still. This is where your dealership information will be displayed. This is our fake dealership we made up in Hula Hula, Alaska. True cash offer breakdown, just kind of educates them on why the car's worth what it's worth. And then a couple extra nuggets here. If they trade in, now this isn't for the consumer that just wants to sell their car, but if they trade in, the potential tax savings involved. It takes 1 day to take advantage of that, and on this car, $496. The alternative is sell private party. On average, it takes 30 to 60 days to sell a car private party like on Craigslist, and we have an expected appreciation in that amount of time. So we've created another almost $800 reason why this is the best source for the consumer to go through. Sound good? So let me jump on over here to AccuTrade. This is what you can work and do appraisals out of. And remember one thing. You don't have to just do this with Truecar trade leads or just Truecar leads. If you have just a normal lot up out there, you just upped him, and you can tell it's going to kind of be a struggle here. Maybe he's proud of his trade, and you want to leverage a tool like this because it brings a third-party validation to the process. Kind of takes the burden off Hill Country Honda's back, puts it on Truecar. Say, hey, here's what Truecar has for you. You can do as many appraisals as you want. If there's no limit to it, use it wherever you think it's going to be had. If any of you like to work the service drive, which I know, Jeff, you probably work the service drive quite a bit. It's a great tool to go out there and say, hey, you know what, with your customer loyalty here at Hill Country Honda, I can offer you a free market appraisal on your car. With that offer, you can either put it towards the purchase of your new vehicle or pick up a check from us. So either one will work. So this is the lead I just submitted. It's Lexus RX that we got. We have our target trade number right over here. I have already, and it's actually about to be impacted. This one apparently it has a bad Carfax and bad auto check. So if I hit this, we can see how bad the Carfax is. Let's take a look. Branded salvage title, so it's a pretty bad one. You can basically select bad VHR. Oh, I gotta start the appraisal. So when I select bad VHR here, so just for the Carfax, it takes off $750. Now obviously that's not all you would have to do with this one, just because it's a salvage title, which this one's a little bit more of a special case. Again, I just pulled a random VIN, so Probably wouldn't have pulled that one if I would have known it had that. So we're going to pretend it doesn't have a salvage title, but it just has a bad Carfax. That $750 that it took off for, that VHR stands for Vehicle History Report, that $750 it took off, kind of your talk track there is, that's the average amount that this car is bringing less at the auction because of a bad Carfax. Because we use all 17 digits, when we pull our auction data, we can pull Carfax out of every car, so we can figure out a mean amount on actually how much it's affecting the car. It's a little bit better because you could ask, I know Jeff's really good at appraising cars, but you could ask 10 Jeffs at 10 different times how bad a Carfax affects a car, and you might get 10 different answers. It's a very subjective thing and tough to do sometimes. This just helps it, and it brings it, like, again, a third-party validation. Instead of you telling them the car's worth less because of it, let Truecar tell them. It really kind of helps you on that first pencil piece. As we continue going down, you can ask them, how many keys do you have, or how many keys you plan on trading in. They have one key. For this car, it takes off $75, a little bit older car, you might not replace it. It could be a wholesale piece, who knows. But it's very, again, VIN specific. It knows what $150 keys, $300 keys, it'll have different amounts set in there for different types of vehicles. So what's cool about this, instead of charging your deal for a second key when it gets put in the used car department, all that does is come out of gross, it charges, you can charge a consumer, because they're the ones that actually don't have the second key, right? As we continue going down, we have you'll see all the panels reflected here. This is pretty cool. So let's say we select this front passenger door, and let's say this door has a scratch in it. There's 3 different types of scratch here. If I put buffable on this, it only puts a $100 fix on it. If I actually put scratch again, let's put touch up, it puts $150, and if I was going to repaint it, obviously it'd put a little bit more. But let's put touch up. One thing you'll have the ability to do. Again, I probably wouldn't do this in front of the consumer just because it could seem a little shady, but you could actually charge whatever you wanted. If you wanted to charge $350 for that scratch, it actually takes off the target trade amount. So now you're starting to use real numbers to deduct from a car. So when you're doing that walk around, instead of just touching it and say, oh, what happened here, you can also assess a amount to it, like an actual monetary amount. The thing with the trade is, as you all know, the trade is the most emotional part of the deal. We have to somehow monetize that emotion. We have to take that out, and you guys start talking to them in retail terms. Basically, Mr. Miss Customer, we have to retail this car. There's some things we have to do to get this car retail ready. We got to fix this scratch. It's $350 to fix this scratch. And start taking it off the value. If you touch the hood, maybe the hood's had previous paint work. Let's put it in substandard work, and it takes off $300 automatically. Again, you can change those amounts if you want to charge a little bit more to get your number a little bit down. You're going to notice consistently our numbers are going to be about 1,000, 2,000 less than typically Jeff or Chris's number. So it's very good for holding gross. Really, really good first pencil piece because, again, using Truecar's name, it kind of gives you a free pass at that first pencil. When you go out there and take the first pencil and you're holding on the trade. As we continue going, let's go. So I just touched a button here that says glass if you can't see it. Let's say the windshield has a crack in it, we got to replace it. It puts $250 on this one. Again, you can change that, and if it's got rain sensing windshields, because we use 17 digits, you typically know that, it'll charge, I've seen $900, $1,200, $1,500 windshields before. Interior, let's say that this was a 15 model Honda. Y'all see PO cars, right? Y'all do that? Okay. So let's say it's like a 15 or 16 model Honda, and you're going around and you touch the glove box because you notice there's no owner's manual. Well, you have to order that, so you can actually charge them for the books missing, $75. Again, you can get as nitty gritty as you want. Numbers already working for you, you can tell the consumer's had enough, you can lay off, but again, I'm just saying you can be the picky as you want with the car. There's multiple ways to devalue it. Get into the tires and make sure what they told us on the website was what it really was, because you could always change it to mediocre or bad for tires. Then you still have the warning lights, mechanical damages, and other disclosures. As well. So for instance, if they actually did have a smoke odor inside, you can take that money back off here. So last thing I'll show you about this part is the Consumer Appraisal Report. Really like to report to me. It's the simplest, but to me the most effective part of our entire program. It's got the good Truecar name on it, Universal Condition Report. Again, this is your first pencil hit piece. There's a good chance that this car, if it came in and really only had 55,000 miles, maybe you hit it at 10 grand or 11. This gives you a free pass to hit it at 79.75 and use Truecar as the name doing it. You can go down the car. You can say you got good miles, give you some money back for that one. What did that say? Keys, you didn't bring in your second key, it's $75. It's got a bad Carfax, it was $750 deduct there. And then as you go around the damage, again, the customer starts to visualize because they know what dents are on their car and what's not. They're not dumb. But you touch the hood, touch the paintwork, but it just kind of puts everything in a nice line item format for you to hit the customer. Pretty cool. Y'all like this? It's very easy to do. As you I kind of talk through it, but as you get done, you can probably do appraisal with the consumer within 2 to 3 minutes. You can do it on the phone, iPad, or if you just want to go outside and walk around it, you can also come back in on the desktop, enter it in, and get that done as well. You can do it however you want to. Any questions on that? What?
So if you do this with the customer in front of them on this AccuTrade, does it put it automatically as a lead? So
No, it will not create it. Not if you're doing it through that way. It's not going to go to it's not going to talk to the CRM that way. The only time this creates a lead if they start from. Y'all don't have the website widget. We do have a website widget for dealers. I think you also have a KBB one. Y'all chose not to use ours on the website. But the only way they're going to get put in the CRM is you can actually manually push to CRM, which you don't have to do, or to coming from USA or Truecar. Any other questions? Jeff, you have anything you want to add about the tool and your experiences? Because I know you did quite a few appraisals in December with it, so.
No, I like this because you can itemize each individual piece. With KBB is just, we're guessing at it.
Yeah.
$1,200 off. And
right.
That's going to be a lot better for the customer to see.
And again, if you do have that Truecar customer, guys, it would be, kind of a waste to not leverage it. Let's say it's just a Truecar core customer coming in, they have this great price in hand. Man, I got a Truecar price. I'm under invoice, whatever it is. Okay, Mr. Customer, I see you trust Truecar. That you're a loyal member to them and everything. We're a Truecar Trade certified dealership, meaning we can actually give you that same transparent experience that you had on your new car purchase, on your trade-in as well. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, because they trust that Truecar price so much. Let's also have Truecar put a number on their trade. And then
you can also tell them that you can get a more exact amount once you put the VIN number in yourself. You start working it versus what they bring in.
Right, that too. Well, exactly, because if you'll notice, when we did the consumer journey, what you do here in the dealership is a lot more exact, right? That was kind of a watered down version of this. It's meant to be that way. When they come in, there's still more to do. To stamp a certificate, like this certificate said $99.50. Well, that didn't mean their offer is $99.50 because we say it's subject to physical inspection. They come in, this is the inspection, we found $2,000 worth of damages that we have to take care of. We got to get that from them, all right? And again, it doesn't just have to be the Truecar customers. It could be just a normal lot that you want to leverage this with. This maybe you find that it makes it easy on first pencil to go give them that lower value. Excuse me. I think it's a simple talk to our consumer. If I were you guys, I say here at Hill Country Honda, we're a Truecar Trade certified dealership. We can offer you a transparent appraisal process. Unfortunately, what me and my used car manager found are some things we have to do to get your car retail ready. Let me start here. The miles are really good, and so on and so on. You can even say, if I say anything that's incorrect, will you please stop me? And we'll go out and take a look at your car. Because, nothing here is incorrect. They know that there's a crack in their windshield. They know that their hood's been repaired. They know that there's a scratch on their passenger door over there. And we're putting a monetary value there. I'm not saying that there is I'm not saying this is a silver bullet that's going to work 100% of the time. Obviously, nothing works 100% of the time. But it can make you more effective, especially on some of those lay-down customers and everything that believe this. So hopefully it just puts more money in your pocket. That's all we're trying to do with the trade product. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
So who all has business cards on right now? Because I want y'all to get down back to the floor, and I'll come around and kind of work y'all individually. But I need to get y'all logins and what basically I need to need them.
So you need the card,
Huh?
You're in the card.